And welcome to another segment of Advice with Andrew here on the AP Podcast. We're glad to have you, to have been with you, to be with you wherever you are, if you even are where you is. Let's get right into it. This is Susan Brown from Alabama. Susan?
Hello, Andrew. It's great to have you. I'm actually doing my own podcast right now.
We sort of have a crossing over of each of our podcasts.
That's correct. In fact, I'm glad I got a hold of you. And I'd like to ask you a few questions for my podcast, even though I'm calling in for yours.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right, I'm ready for the first question if you're ready.
I am definitely ready.
What's your favorite color?
My favorite color has always been green, but in the recent times I've been warming up to blue.
And what is your favorite food?
My favorite food is I'd say it's a triumvirate. It's between tacos, Chinese
That
food.
sounds great.
I know.
What about a Chinese taco?
Well, let's not get racial.
Sorry, what's your next one?
And then Italian food.
So an Italian food, Chinese food, and tacos.
Yeah.
And what is your favorite color? What's your favorite car? Your favorite form of vehicle?
My favorite, that's a tough question because...
Thank you.
Now, you're welcome. Would this be any car that I could get, like, if I had enough money, or is it just...
Your dream vehicle.
My dream vehicle would probably be... Have you ever seen those old-time videos of the first inventions of, like, flying machines?
Yes. Leonardo da Vinci's flying machine.
Yes, well, a little bit farther on in history, closer to when the Wright brothers were alive. My favorite vehicle, if I could have a vehicle of my choosing, would be the vehicle that sort of had wings that would flap up and down, and it never really worked in flying, but it was sort of a bouncing...
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for tuning in to this week's edition.
Wait, this is my show.
I would like to just not only thank all of our sponsors, Everglide.
Wait, you have
for
sponsors?
providing the entire show and staff with antibacterial
Susan has sponsors on her
hemorrhoid cream.
show.
We have our hemorrhoids, and we have our cream. We'd also like to thank
It's a hemorrhoid
Cherry's
thing.
Tea. Cherry's Tea is good because
She's
I
just
like
throwing her
drinking
clothes
it.
out right now, and she's
From
still
all
on
of us
the air.
here at
How do I hang up on
www.simplypet.com.
Susan? What button do I push to hang up?
Signing off.
And that was Susan Brown from Alabama. We've spoken with Susan before, and I think we also spoke with her sister once when Susan was asking about ingredients for a wedding or something of that sort. Thanks, Susan. And we'll have to talk about getting sponsors for this AP podcast. I'm not sure what yours is called with. It's probably Talking with Susan, Talking Points with Susan, or something like that. Now for a new guest to Advice with Andrew. We're going to be speaking with a doctor of medicine and other things. I'll let the doctor elaborate on what he actually does. We're going to be speaking with Dr. Rudolf Randallson of the Randalf Rudellson Institute. Dr. Randallson, how are you?
Doing well.
Wonderful. You kind of have a cough there. Is everything...
Just a little bit. Just tickles the throat.
Now, you do, as I said to the audience, I'll kind of let you elaborate more, but just to give them an idea, you do studies of human vocal capabilities. What is the term? What's the scientific term?
I do emphasis in cultural epitrology.
Epitrology. Okay.
And anthropology.
Oh, anthropology.
Yeah, that was the emphasis. Then linguistics. I saw a natural progression coming out of that.
Oh, okay, I see. Now, you originally went to institute. You are from Great Britain, and you originally were going to...
Yes, originally from... Didn't grow up there, and obviously you can tell from my accent. I was born there, but I was raised in southern Miami, California.
I've gone there many times on vacation in the summer. So let's talk about your most recent scientific breakthrough that you and your team of underlings and students have found. What were your recent findings that I think they got published in a few online audio websites such as Spunker and AudioGab?
Right. Well, we as a team, we had a five kind of group team, and we found out that across all of our cultures, people stemming from African Americans to Latino Americans, we all have different slang terms that we use when we're very upset.
Oh.
And while this may seem like just kind of a no-brainer almost, there is actually a high amount of work and energy and research that we put into that. For example, and I'm just going to kind of cut through some of the red tape and get you to some of the more juicy spots. If that's all right, I maybe have a few preliminary questions.
No, I'd like to get into your research and let people know about what your findings are. So go ahead.
Okay, so because I don't want to come off as being a racist, I am a Caucasian, so I will be derogatory towards my own race, and because I really wouldn't feel comfortable throwing out racial epithets and slurs towards another race other than my own.
Okay.
So I just kind of want to use that as a disclaimer. So a black person would call a white person cracker, all right? Whereas a Latino person would never do that. A Latino person would call a white person a tortilla or a tortilla. And that's just one example. So you can kind of see where I'm going with it. White bread, Wonder Bread.
What? Wonder Bread? Yep, I've heard that one.
Excuse me. So we did this white bread and Wonder Bread. So Andrew, I'd like you, or maybe to give me and we've got pages of it. But I would like you to give out a certain race, ethnicity other than Caucasian, and then I will give you that slang for the white person that is different nationality with you.
Okay.
So we went through African American cracker, then the tortilla for the Latino American community. And then I got the research here, and then I'll give you the racial term.
So I'll just name off a racial group. Okay. I actually have my little cousin Gulliver in the studio. Gulliver, you want to come over here? Yeah, sure. Gulliver is going to come over and ask. He's interested.
That's fine.
Okay, Gulliver, why don't you come to the microphone? Hello?
Yes, Gulliver, we're ready for you to give us out some different racial groups, ethnic groups.
Okay, now Gulliver. So we've already gone over Latino. Okay. And African American, but now let's have you list off a few others, and the doctor here will present his findings. All right. If you walked up to a Japanese man.
Right. Okay. A Japanese man. That'd be long, straight right, and that you don't. It's kind of we try to steer clear from being hyper specific in the regional parts of Japan. It's either long stem rights or short stem rights that the Japanese culture uses.
Oh, very interesting.
For the white people, long stem or short stem to be short.
Interesting. I also find it interesting. Let's see. What about if you were on a stroll and a Greek man or woman?
Greek, they call us white cappers. White cappers, a Mediterranean influenced kind of culture. The white cap.
White caps.
White cap.
Whitey cap. Interesting. And that's something that's kind of like a surfer term too, isn't it? I think so.
Yeah, we didn't get into specific groups within the cultures themselves. We're sort of working on that in our next paper. But yeah, why don't you give out a few more, and then I'll continue sharing these racial epithets that different nationalities use towards white people.
Okay, Gulliver.
Australian.
Australian, and this one was a tough one. There was a few that the Aussies used. One was crust. You know, and this it kind of goes back to that whole white bread, Wonder Bread, Wonder Boy. Crust was one. Another one that was used was crest. Like for toothpaste, you know, to get your teeth nice and white. That one actually hurt. My father was a dentist, and so the crest one, when we thought that one out, I had to take a step back. I kind of got my papers together. I wasn't sure if I was going to leave the project or not. Then another one was Saint Nick was one that
Saint Nick.
We had to almost slow down the progress. Saint Nick was another one. He
was he Australian?
That one gets me mad just thinking of it a little bit.
Was Saint Nick Australian? And I don't mean
Saint
to.
Nick.
Okay, well, Gulliver, how about a couple more?
What if you were in, like, Russia?
The Russian community, because a lot of them are Caucasians themselves. Speaking of the United States Caucasians, and that's kind of what we were focused on. The Russian community had. Here. Hold on one second. I'm just looking through everything.
Are you checking your papers?
I'm on my computer right now. I'm on my cell, but I'm scrolling through all of Russia, USSR. Hold on one second.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
So, printer paper was the one that they used. Printer inkjet was another one. Desktop 1500. That's a very popular brand of printer. Epson 1500 was another one that they used. But printer paper and Epson 1500, which is a type of desktop printer.
So if a Russian native was trying to antagonize me with...
we won't get the little printer paper boy over again. Something like that.
Oh, okay. That was your Russian accent.
That blew. What about if you were Indian? Not not feathers, but curry.
Yeah, okay, right. The big Latakian,
Bangladesh.
The Indian community, they actually are very tolerant people, and we didn't have any danger that came from the Indian community other than bleach. The bleach people.
Bleach.
Yeah, the bleachers, blanket, bleach head, bleach skin.
Kate Blanchett. Kate Blanchett is another one. Blanche, like vegetables, or Kate Blanchett.
Right.
Well, Doctor, this is definitely extraordinary research. Cutting edge, tip of the knife, drop of the sword. There's so many terms we could use to describe this unique research, and I really appreciate you coming on. And Gulliver, thank you as well.
Thank you, that was fun, except for your... whatever you tried.
Well, I don't... what do you... Gulliver, just go back. So, thank you, Doctor, and...
You're welcome.
So, we're gonna move on to our next guest, but maybe we'll have him on next time. That Dr. Rudolf Randallson of the Randalf Rudellson Institute. And on a side note, your name is just a coincidence. Your institute, it wasn't founded by yourself. It just happens to be the same.
Yeah, it was. It has worked out to my favor, but yeah, lucky coincidence.
And sometimes that's.
By the way, by coincidence is the term coincidence is what the Slavic people use towards white people. So thanks, Andrew, for having us on.
You're welcome, Dr. Rudolph. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Well, that was very... many of those terms I had never even heard. Of course, you've heard cracker, but once we got to crest and white top and I don't even remember all of them. White crust wonder hoven. That was interesting, to say the least. Let's go to our last guest on this segment of the Advice with Andrew here on the AP podcast. And you might have guessed it if you've heard our first couple. We're going to go to Big Joe back in Eagan, Minnesota. Now, Big Joe, I know you wanted to talk about the NFL draft.
Yeah.
So,
Andrew, you still there?
yeah, I'm still here. How are you doing, Big Joe? How are you doing?
Doing well. We had me at home there for a bit, so kind of in the kitchen, just kind of jumped into. Have you had one of these Papa DiGiorno or the Dijon pizza? One of these Dijon pizzas?
Is that?
Hold on. It's one of the ones where you go and you buy it. It's like the cold. It's like a frozen pizza almost, but it's like you watch them put it together.
Oh, right. Papa Murphy.
Yeah, well, what are they doing to us where they're making us, put it in the oven?
Well, I think part of the thing that they're doing there is they're showing you that the ingredients are fresh.
No.
And they're also letting you see how they make their pizzas.
Doesn't save me any money.
Well,
The NFL draft, I'll be honest, the guy with me and a couple of football buddies.
Now, real quick, Joe, I'm going to have to interrupt you. Last week you were doing a lift-a-thon for your buddy
Yeah, that's right.
Bert Broadwell. Was he at this party?
I pulled a delt.
You pulled a
and
delt.
I put some about 3 tubes of icy hot on it.
Right.
And I've just been kind of working it back in. I'm slowly building my way back up to half of one of those water coolers of peat rock. Andrew, to be honest with you, the NFL draft this year, me and a couple buddies we got a keg of PBR.
Yeah.
Before we could even get to the right channel, I don't even know what channel it was on. To be honest with you, I was passed out drunk,
Wow.
laying on the ground, and we hadn't even cracked the keg yet, Andrew.
What were you drinking before the keg?
Well, we had a lot of water.
Right. You were passed out on water
Yeah.
because you don't drink water. You mainly drink muscle milk, beer, hard liquor.
Let me just bring you through the night. The draft started around?
Well, the draft on Friday night started. I think it was like 6:30 or so.
6:30, sure. Well, leading up to that time, I got a couple buddies, got the big, it was like a pony keg of PBR.
Right.
And we were all really thirsty. We took turns handing it off to one another as we got it out of the car. So we kind of got this assembly line going.
And were you doing deadlifts?
It was more of a okay, picture 3 people in the line. I'm in the front of the line. I pass it off to Jack. Jack passes it off to Hank. And by the time that I got to Hank, I had already circumnavigated the other two.
Right.
And now I'm picking it up from Hank. And then by that time, Jack has got around both of us. And so we're passing this pony keg of PBR all the way down to my basement.
Gotcha.
And by that time, we got really, we built up some stamina. We're just telling about football jokes or football stories, and we all got really thirsty. And I had a lot of water at that time, so
Yeah.
I just kept drinking water. I wasn't even thirsty by the third or fourth glass, and I just kept drinking more and more water.
You just didn't realize that you were drinking too much water.
Yeah, I wasn't thirsty, Andrew.
Right.
And don't be an asshole about this. I mean, it's, we set the pony keg down, and it's, right around that 5:30, threw some stairs. She threw a pizza in the oven for us.
The Papa Murphy's.
Yeah, one of those Papa Murphy things. And I had, on my 15th, 16th glass of water, and I just keep drinking it. And I wake up and the draft is over. The other 2 guys they had left. But that's what the draft went.
Had they eaten your pizza?
The pizza was halfway gone.
Right.
When I woke up.
Huh.
It was in the microwave.
And the draft was all gone when you left.
The draft was done. The pony keg was. I had to give them a call.
Yeah.
Well, Hold on one second.
Had they? I'm wondering if they had pounded the keg while you were sleeping.
What am I sending the oven for here?
I
350? I don't know. I had to call those guys back up to form this assembly line again to bring the keg back.
Because you didn't have the strength to do it just on your own.
It was one of those. Andrew, look up pony keg for me and tell me that I don't need an assembly line. Look it up.
Oh, you know what? I just googled it. Yeah, that's going to take at least 3 Hanks, maybe a Jerry.
Just look it up and tell me that you don't need an assembly line.
No, you do. You don't. You do. Don't. So you're right.
I mean, from what I heard from other people around my office.
Where do you work, by the way? Do you sell like computer equipment yet you have no knowledge of how to turn one on?
Don't be that about it. It's Initech. Well, it's like that. You see on space. It's like Initech.
It's like a space attack? What?
You've seen Office Space.
Oh.
It's like Initech.
Oh, I see. Initech. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. And if you were in the movie, would you?
What people were saying about the office? What people were saying around the office was that Brad Childress needed to pick up more people than he did.
Joe, I'm going to have to let you know that Brad Childress is no longer part of the Minnesota Vikings organization.
Hold on one second.
He has no connection to them.
Hold on one second.
I think it's actually $3.75 that you want the pizza in, by the way.
I just burnt my hand.
Yeah. Did you didn't have an oven mitt?
Damn it.
Is Sue there? Can she assist with icy hot?
No, it was for 425. Hold on, Andrew. I need to get some cold water running out of this.
Yeah, you should do that. And don't put muscle milk on it.
I don't know. What is he trying to say? No, I tried to. Okay. Andrew, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, I need to set the 425. Anyway, I heard what you said about Brad Childress. Come on, what do you think some sort of, I used to call it Jake Gyllenhaal because of that broke-ass mountain.
Yeah, we were talking about that last time.
I don't want to come off as being like this kind of, one of those scarf. I'm not wearing a scarf, all right? I'm not wearing a scarf right now.
Right, Big Joe. I would never accuse you, Big Joe, of wearing a scarf. But what I will inform you of is that Leslie Frazier is now the Minnesota Vikings head coach. He has been for the last year.
No, I know. And who did the Vikings get? All right, X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Along with,
and you don't like it.
How long do I set this pizza for? It's already been in there for 5 minutes. All right, we got X, Y, Z.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Well, there's also A, B.
About 10 more minutes until it's done. So we got X, Y, Z.
Yep.
And who else are we gonna need? I'm not wearing a scarf. I don't have, that glitter, that bacon spray on me. I'm a man. I know all that I need to know. All right.
Right.
Andrew, I gotta go. I can't set this damn timer. I don't know if I'm setting it for 14 minutes or 450 degrees. I can't.
Yeah, that can be confusing when you think the time is the temperature and vice versa. Well, right. Joe, I wish you luck there.
Bye.
And Joe, that was Big Joe. Hopefully he doesn't burn his hand again on the oven. And hopefully, he's not wearing a scarf the next time he states that Brad Childress doesn't know what he's doing in the Minnesota Vikings draft, even though Brad Childress is no longer with the Minnesota Vikings organization. This has been another wonderful installment of the AP Podcast, this segment, Advice with Andrew. I don't know, really, in these past 3 episodes, I don't really think I've given much concrete advice, because everything devolves into either talking about research that's questionable or Big Joe, tearing his, his appendix or something on the oven. Well, thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoyed the show. we hope to hear from you, see you, touch you, feel you, be all up in you.